This is Richard Kung, president and founder of ergoBe. In today's Ergo Tip, we're going to talk about the question, are you resting or compressing? Specifically, we're going to talk about use of wrist rests. Now, there's a common perception that many people think that wrist rest will prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. While the wrist rest puts a soft cushion and provides some support and relief for your wrists, it does not always prevent carpal tunnel syndrome based on how you use it. First off, what is carpal tunnel syndrome? Well, carpal tunnel syndrome is in the wrist. This soft region of your wrist known as the carpal tunnel region. You have a ligament that runs across. Due to excess wear, this ligament can become inflamed. It swells and it puts pressure on the arteries as well as the nerves. So you may have pinched nerves, reduced blood flow, and therefore you may get the result and symptoms of carpal tunnel syndrome, such as weakness, fatigue, numbness. However, as I mentioned before, the wrist rest may not necessarily prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. In fact, it may make it worse. Consider these three things when using your wrist rest. First, take a look at the height of your table. The height of your table is very important, especially compared to the height of your elbows. If the table is too high, that's going to cause you to hunch up your shoulders or raise up your arms. And the wrist rest will only add to the height, thereby making the bend worse, straining the wrist even more. 2. Consider the shape of the material and the wrist rest. Some are too large, as mentioned just a moment ago, and they can cause you to have to kink your wrist even more, adding additional strain. Also, consider the material. Some wrist rests are soft. They may use a silicone gel material. Others may use beads. I tend to prefer the beads, as the beads do two things while you use it. One, it moves around, so it almost gives your wrist a massaging action, and that will increase blood circulation. Now, 3, consider your own behaviors while you work. For example, do you find yourself leaning forward quite a bit? This can cause additional pressure, especially if you're leaning on your wrist. So these 3 things, the height of the table, the shape and material of the wrist rest itself, and your behavioral patterns dictate whether or not that wrist rest is successful or not. Now, what are 3 things you can do? 1, consider leaning back in your chair. This helps to shift the weight, especially if you're leaning against your table, from your hands and your wrist to your back. 2, bring your monitor closer to you. Oftentimes, if your monitor is too far away, this will cause you to hunch more, and as a result, you'll probably end up putting more pressure on your wrists. And 3, take breaks. Nothing is more important than to take a break. Static posture and compression, compressing the wrist over and over again without giving it any breather, is greater cause for injury. So, to review, remember, when you're looking at your wrist rest and using it, consider the height of your table. Consider the shape, material, and size of the wrist rest itself, as well as any behavioral patterns when you use it. Try to lean back in your chair, bring the monitor closer, and be sure to take breaks. Try these things, and I guarantee your wrist will thank you later. So that's it for today's Ergo Tip. If you enjoy this, please be sure to click the like button. And if you want to check out more great tips, be sure to go to our website at www.ergobe.com/blog. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.